Bethlehem's Christian Arab leaders lobbied Israel against transferring the city to the Palestinian Authority. In 1993, on the eve of signing the Oslo Accord, the Christian mayor of Bethlehem, Elias Frege, admonished Israel's Prime Minister Rabin, stating, "Transferring Bethlehem to the Palestinian Authority would relegate it to a town of many churches, but devoid of Christians." Before Oslo, the Christian mayor of Bejalla, Bethlehem's twin town, Farah al-Arj, told the New York Times syndicated columnist William Sapphire, "The PLO will force a wave of Christian emigration, making Belize in Central America a home for more Bejalla Christians than left in Bejalla." In 1967, shortly following the Six-Day War, the Christian mayor of Bethlehem then, Elias Bandag, warned Israel's defense minister Moshe Dayan an Israeli failure to annex Bethlehem into Greater Jerusalem would doom the city's Christian character. Since the 1993 establishment of the Palestinian Authority, the Christian majorities of Ramallah, Bethlehem, and Bejalla have been transformed into insignificant minorities due to physical, social, economic, legal, and political intimidation. More Christian emigrants from these towns reside in Latin America than Christians remaining there. The persecution of Christians in Arab lands is based on the teachings of Muhammad, which have dominated the social, political, cultural, judicial, military, and educational aspects of the Muslim Middle East. Thus, the political Muslim establishments are not secular in the Western sense. According to the Quran, Jews and Christians, the people of the book, who rejected Islam, transgressed egregiously. They were the enemies of God, rejected by God, and therefore Judaism and Christianity were replaced by and subordinated to Islam, the only legitimate and inherently supreme religion. Islam commands Muslims to strive for the domination of the house of Islam over the house of the infidel, which includes Christians, hence the centrality of jihad, the holy war. A typical reference by the Quran to Christians and other infidels appears in Surah 5, verses 60 and 86. God cursed and blustered those whom he transformed to apes, Jews, and pigs, Christians. The infidel shall inherit hell. The submission of Christians and other infidels to Islam was further institutionalized by the 7th century Pact of Omar, which severely restrained and humiliated Christians, and was later extended to other infidels, consistent with the Quran. In fact, the legalized persecution and scapegoating of Christians are in accordance with the Muslim concept of dhimmis, who are the non-Muslim citizens in Muslim lands. As stipulated by the Islamic Code of Law, the Sharia, they are subordinated to and protected by Islam, as long as they accept Islamic supremacy. The attitude towards dhimmis is specified in the Quran, Surah 9, verse 29. Fight the people who receive the book, Jews and Christians, who do not adhere to the truthful religion, supposedly Islam, until they pay the jizya, infidel tax, while they are humiliated. Non-Muslim citizens are faced with 3 choices: conversion to Islam, accepting dhimmitude, or death. Since the 1683 defeat of the Ottoman Empire at the gates of Vienna, Islam has declined dramatically, witnessing global domination by the so-called infidel, inferior, and arrogant Christian world, and alarmed by the penetration of infidel ideologies and values into the abode of Islam. This perceived humiliation has led to tectonic eruptions of Islamic rage and terrorism, aimed at regaining the supposedly natural supreme megalomaniacal status of Islam. The Islamic religious and political establishments consider the infidel Christian Western modernity and civil liberties clear, present, and lethal threats, fueling the inherent domestic instability. The recent erosion of Western posture of deterrence, retreats, and appeasement have provided tailwind to Islamic rage, fueling the anti-Christian Western Islamic terrorism irrespective of the pro-Arab policy of the vast majority of the Christian countries. While most of the Christian Western world pressures Israel to accept Palestinian demands, the battle cry in Palestinian Authority-inspired rallies is, after we do away with the Saturday people, Jews, we shall take care of the Sunday people, Christians. As befits dhimmis, churches, monasteries, Christian cemeteries, schools, homes, land, and Christian women in the Palestinian Authority are subject to desecration, destruction, burning, confiscation, intimidation, rape, and harassment. For example, in April-May 2002, Bethlehem's Church of the Nativity, with its priests and nuns, was hijacked, looted, and booby-trapped for 39 days by 200 Palestinian terrorists. The 1970 to 1982 PLO terror surge in Lebanon accelerated the flight of Lebanese Christians, reducing them from the ruling sector to a dwindling minority. Since 1993, Palestinian Authority intimidation has intensified the flight of Christians. However, the Vatican and most Christian Western governments have knowingly sacrificed the religious and civil liberties of Christian minorities on the altar of wishful thinking, political correctness, and appeasement.